Steve and Alan's Pro Tips in a short time. Learn a lot.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Alan.
Michael is one of our Music Ed Insights insiders who wrote in with an idea for a quick pro tip. Steve, you're here too, right?
I'm here, Alan.
All right, Steve, set this up for us.
Oh, yes. Michael's idea for a pro tip. Very well timed. So earlier this week, I had the jazz band that I teach at Co College over for dinner. And after dinner, we were talking, some of the music ed majors and I was going on and on about how difficult it is to be a teacher these days and all of the reasons why you might not want to be a teacher. And then I'm not kidding. The next day, Michael sent us an idea for a pro tip discussion, and it made me feel really bad about the discussion I had with my students. Michael, what was your idea for the pro tip?
Well, where I teach, we are finally experiencing the teacher shortage, and we knew it was coming eventually. And a couple years ago, one of the really fine directors in my part of the state of Iowa, named Kurt Schwark, who just retired, got up and spoke to the band directors in our area at a meeting and said, we need to be careful about how we talk about our jobs in front of our students. If we want young people to go into the profession, then we cannot talk about it in such a negative way around them. That we need to talk about our jobs in a positive way around our students so that they see the good things and will want to be teachers in the future.
So basically, not what I did at my dinner party.
Yeah, he probably would have suggested a different approach there or a different topic maybe. And I think it's important also to understand that we do have to vent about our jobs. We just have to pick a better place or time to do it.
One thing I like about this pro tip idea from you is it aligns with another kind of common theme of mine on this podcast and in life, which is for a lot of the most significant problems, there are no quick and easy fixes, even though this is a quick pro tip aimed at helping people, fix things quickly and professionally. But the sort of analogy here I can think of is when we are bemoaning the lack of representation by certain populations in, for example, band compositions. That if you would like to have a diverse program for your spring concert, from a composer background standpoint, that is very difficult to do. It's easier than it used to be, but it's still pretty difficult. And I think one of the reasons for this is the pipeline. So I have been saying the past few years, if you really want to fix the issue of underrepresentation in composers in band music, for example, then you need to make sure your bands themselves look more diverse and therefore increasing the chances that we might have some more students from different populations pursue music education in college, go on to be band directors, and from there start writing music for bands. And this is another one where one of the solutions to the teacher shortage, it's not a sexy, quick solution, but I think it's a very real one. And that is we need to grow our own. We need to cultivate them and not talk negatively about it and figure out ways to bring students around to the fact that there are some great things with this profession. So my immediate visceral reaction to your email was I was embarrassed at myself for both going about it kind of the wrong way and also not thinking about the long game, which is something I'm usually proud of myself for doing.
In that situation, Steve, you're also in a pretty social situation, and that is where we are used to venting our frustrations. So it's easy to make that first reaction. I'm here with these people. They're going into my profession. You're not colleagues with them, but you're certainly, you're not in the classroom with them. You're at a social situation, at dinner. So it's easy to make that mistake or that step.
Michael, if a student says, hey, is there anything bad about being a teacher? How come there's a teacher shortage? Do you have an answer for that that's real and still encouraging?
Yeah, I've had students ask me that, and I just tell them it's challenging. Any profession is challenging that you pick. So if you want to go be a farmer, because I live in a very agricultural part of the state, part of the country, being a farmer is tough, but it's also very rewarding. Being a doctor is tough, but it's also very rewarding. And I think in Music education, we have a lot of control over our job, and we can make adjustments to make it more enjoyable or to make it more difficult for ourselves. So I think it is a difficult job like anything else, but we have to understand that the rewards are fantastic. And that's what I focus on with my students. And since Kurt Schwartz got up and talked about this, I've tried to make it a point to tell my students that I have the best job in the high school and that I love what I get to do. But I also know that they can trust me to tell them when I'm frustrated about it. You know, maybe I'm tired today, or hey, this needs to be better, or hey, this didn't go how we want it to. But then I focus on the growth that happens afterward.
Keeping it real and keeping it positive and doing our part to make sure we get great people in this amazing profession of music education. Michael Prichard, thank you so much for being a Music Ed Insights insider. And thank you even more for coming on and sharing your quick pro tip with us.
Thanks, Alan and Steve.
Steve and Alan's pro tips in a short time learned.